So there are some restrictions, some guidelines, some codes, some hudud. Similarly, if someone is going to fast, he needs to be aqil, baligh, he needs to be able to fast, he has the strength. If someone is going to perform hajj, he needs to be aqil, baligh, he needs to have the ability to perform hajj and the financial means of performing hajj. But when it comes to sending peace and salutations upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in the Holy Quran, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In this verse of the Holy Quran, there is no mention of any qu'ud, no mention of any hudud, any restrictions, any set guidelines. So from this we learn that we can send durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in any state, at any time, once we are walking, sitting down, lying down, in state of wuzu, in state of not having wuzu. We can send durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in any time and place. There are many other virtues of sending durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Once, Sayyidina Ibrahim ala nabina wa alayhi salatu was salam, he was being thrown by the kuffar of his time off a mountain, off a cliff towards a fire. And on the way down, Sayyidina Jibreel Amin came to him on several occasions, several accounts, and asked him if he wants his help, he can protect him, he can save him. At that very time, the Nur of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam was present in the blessed forehead of Sayyidina Ibrahim ala nabina wa alayhi salatu wasalam, and was witnessing this coming and going of Jibreel Amin. So long time afterwards, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was called on Miraj Sharif, where he went to see Allah Azza wa Jal. And Jibreel Amin obviously was with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When they reached Sidratul Muntaha, and Sidratul Muntaha is that point which all the makhluk above Sidratul Muntaha has never come down, and all the makhluk beneath Sidratul Muntaha has never gone up. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that one creation of Allah Azza wa Jal who went past this point, Sidratul Muntaha, many times and came back down. Allah. And at that point, Jibreel Amin, he stopped and said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I cannot go any further with you. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him, this is a difficult situation, difficult timing for you. Why? Because you don't want to leave my company, but because of your physical being, you can't go any further. So what is it you want, I will give you. And then Jibreel Amin, they said, I don't understand. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reminded him of the time when he came again and again to his forefather, Sayyidina Ibrahim ala nabina wa alayhi salatu wasalam, at his difficult time and asking him how could he help him. And he goes, I'm just returning the favor. Jibreel Amin could have asked for many things. Scholars have mentioned, if he clinged to the feet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he could have gone past Sidratul Muntaha. But no, what he asked for, he said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on the day of judgment, on the bridge Sirat, when your nation is told to cross over it, I want to spread my wings over the bridge. According to different narrations, some say Jibreel Amin has 300 wings, some say 700, some say 70,000 wings. And each wing is from east to west. And then he said, I want to spread my wings on the bridge of Sirat so that your ummah may cross over there. And those people will be prioritized who send more durood upon you in this world. He requested this dua to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to make in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal. Now when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached La Makan, after giving salam and a few special moments they had with Allah Azza wa Jal alone, Allah Azza wa Jal asked, O Muhammad, what was Jibreel saying to you at Sidratul Muntaha? From this the scholars say that Allah Azza wa Jal also wants for the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be safe on the bridge of Sirat. And also we come to realize the importance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in every aspect, that Allah Azza wa Jal loves Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than anything. He is the most beloved. Same way Sayyidina Musa ala nabina wa alayhi salatu wassalam, when he heard the voice of Allah Azza wa Jal and he insisted, oh Allah Azza wa Jal, show me yourself, show me yourself. And Allah Azza wa Jal said, you can't see me. He didn't say I cannot be seen. That side of Allah Azza wa Jal was for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is reserved for him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is only unique and specific for him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So from this we learn the importance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another blessing of Durood Sharif, it is mentioned that if the population of human beings on earth is, for example, 5 million, 5 billion, this is just for understanding, then the animals on this earth are 70,000 times more. This is mentioned in narrations in Hadith Sharif, are 70,000 times more. And the jinnat are 70,000 times the number of those animals. And the angels on earth are 70,000 times more than those jinnat which are present on earth. And the angels in first sky are 70,000 times more than all those coming before that. And the angels on the second sky are 70,000 times more in number than the number of that which we mentioned before. Then third sky, same thing. Fourth sky, same thing. So if we multiply, we lose, and we lose our track. But if for argument's sake, we is to say that 70,000 times more than humans is animals, and it's not, when I say animals, it's not just animals in the general, it's those animals which are four-legged upon the earth. Then 70 times more, that number is of those animals which are in the sea. Then the jinnat, then the angels in the earth, angels in first sky, times every step by 70,000. Until you reach those angels which are holding the arsh of Allah Azza wa Jal, which are 70,000 times more than all that which we mentioned before. And when one person, he sent durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all those angels holding the arsh of Allah Azza wa Jal, they sent durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all the reward is written into the account of the person who recited the durood first time. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So make intention that whenever you are free, whenever you have any time, instead of a useless talk, send durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Indeed, that is better for us.
صلوا على الحبيب
صلى الله على
Let's make some good intentions, inshallah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the intention of a believer is better than his actions. Without good intention, no reward is granted for a good deed. The more righteous intention one makes, the greater the reward he will attain. So make intention, inshallah. You will try to sit in the Attahiyat position for as long as possible in order to show respect for Islamic sacred knowledge. You lower your gaze, listen attentively. You try to look afterwards if you don't have a bad back. This will help you in your concentration, inshallah. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu alayhi wa. It has been narrated about Sayyidina Sufyan Thawri rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, that in his young age his back became bent, and throughout his life he had his back in the bent state. A lot of people approached him and asked him as to why his back became bent at a young age, and he refused to answer this question till one of his students, he asked this question over and over again. He kept insisting, please tell me, and so he told him the story behind it. He said, one of my teachers, who is also a great scholar, who taught me most of my sciences of Islamic knowledge, at the time of his demise, just before his soul departed from his body, he called me over and said, "Oh Sufyan, I have persuaded the people to leave sin and come towards Allah Azza wa Jal for 50 years. But I am scared that after I die now, Allah Azza wa Jal will turn me away from His blessed court." Just these words, which Sayyidina Sufyan Sawri rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi heard from his teacher, put so much fear of Allah Azza wa Jal inside him that he bowed down slightly, he bent his back slightly, and since that day he couldn't straighten his back. Now he was crying, he was weeping uncontrollably, to the extent the blood started flowing from his passages, or blood would be seen in his urine. And he went to many doctors. None of them could give any reason why this happened and what was the cure or anything behind it. Until he became severely ill and people thought that he might die, they took him to a non-Muslim doctor. And he tried his best, tried to analyze the situation, what was the cause of this. He could not find anything, but after looking at the face of Sayyidina Sufyan Sawri rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, he said that in the Muslims there will be no other youngster like him who has ripped his liver due to intense fear. Now, my dear sons and brothers, this was about Sayyidina Sufyan Sawri rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, that the fear of Allah Azza wa Jal came upon him in such a way that his back became bent, his liver burst. Similarly, our pious predecessors, different accounts, different stories, different incidents, have all had the fear of Allah Azza wa Jal within themselves. From the above mentioned incident, it becomes obvious that the hearts of the pious people of Allah Azza wa Jal were always filled with divine fear. Their acts of standing, sitting, walking, in short, every day and night was spent in pondering over the hereafter, because they would give no importance to this world at all in comparison to the hereafter. Their hearts were filled with so much divine love that they only wanted the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. Their hearts were filled with the fear of Allah Azza wa Jal to such an extent that the horrible scenes of the Day of Judgment remain in the sight at all times. But alas, today, due to the curse of sins, we do not have divine fear in our hearts. It means that we have decided, or rather sworn an oath, that we will not come onto the right path. We remain inflexible no matter how many ayahs about torment, blessed hadiths about warnings and refraining from sins, and incidents are mentioned to us. We listen, goes in one ear, comes out the other ear. Remember, if we fearlessly spend our lives committing sins in this same way, Allah Azza wa Jal forbid, we might be raised with the sinners on the Day of Judgment, who are spending their lives disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal and His beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and keeping away from the righteous deeds. Such people will be deprived of the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal on the Day of Judgment. Due to the sins, their faces will become black, and those people will keep on running here and there on the Day of Judgment, but no one will help and support them. This state has been mentioned in ayah number 33 to 37 in Surah Abasa, part number 30, translation Kanzul Iman. Then when the deafening shout will arrive, referring to the trumpet which will be blown, on that day man will flee from his own brother, and from his mother and his father, and from his wife and children. On that day, each one has just one concern, which is in regards to himself. These criminals will be dragged to hell, as stated in ayah number 86, Surah Maryam, translation Kanzul Iman, and will drive the criminals towards hell thirsty. My dear son, these are few ayahs which are mentioned, which should wake us up completely. I started the Bayan with the blessing of Durood Sharif, importance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then we come on to Khauf-e-Khuda. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best of all creation, without a doubt. We are here because of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the fear of Allah which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam possesses, no one else can possess the fear. It is mentioned once that the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went into a cave, and he stayed in this cave for 3 days, 3 nights. 3 days, 3 nights he was inside this cave. The Sahaba Ikram, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Usman, Sayyidina Ali, and other Sahaba Ikram, they become very worried. Where is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gone? We can't find him anyway. So they went out searching for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After some time, they passed by a shepherd who was bought his cattle for grazing. And they asked, have you seen Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He said, I did not see any person. But there is a cave nearby. Someone is in this cave. He is continuously crying from last 3 days, 3 nights. And because of this crying, my cattle is not grazing. The Sahaba Ikram, they went to this cave, they climbed the mountain, went inside. They found Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His beard completely wet, with the tears which were flowing from his blessed eyes. And he was in the state of sajda. And he was making dua for the ummah, for his ummah, for us. And he was crying continuously, 3 days, 3 nights, non-stop crying. Not because he sallallahu alaihi wasallam needed to cry or any such sort, no. He was crying for us. He knows of our state. He knows that we won't possess any fear of Allah. So he was pleading in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive us. We are here today. Once a week we come Ijtima, listen to the Bayan, Zikr, Dua, we go away. Back to our normal daily life routines. Namaz, we don't read our namaz punctually. The time our fast comes, we don't keep our fast properly. We don't recite Quran. We don't learn Islamic sacred knowledge. When I'm saying we don't learn, we don't read, I'm talking most of the time. Okay? And not about one specific person in general. This is the state of the Muslims today. Why is this our state today? It's because we've been so far away from this beautiful religion that this become our state. Shaitan and nafs got the better of us. And this is the reality, my dear sons and brothers. I have majlis the Chizu Takfir, and in the last 2 months, we've given ghusl al-mayt to approximately 7 youths. 7 youths, and the age is from 16 to 27, 28, not more than that. One brother, he was passed away in a car accident. There were 4 people, 3 survived, he's the only one that passed away. Another accident took place, 4 people in the car, 3 passed away, 1 survived. The age, 16, 17, 18, 19, not more than that. And when we give ghusl al-mayt to the bodies, we know what state those bodies were in. Another person passed away. He passed away in a good state. He was reading namaz according to what his parents said, and in the state of sajda he passed away. And he was Hafiz al-Quran. His age was 22, 23. Death can come at any time, my dear son. Shaitan, he is our mortal enemy. He will always be behind us. He tries to take us away from the right path. He makes it difficult for us. But while he's trying, we are making him successful. Why? Because we've already put down our tools, our weapons, and lying back, okay, you guide us, we'll do whatever you say. This shouldn't be the case, my dear son brothers. Who was Shaitan? Shaitan himself was a great Abid, he was a great Sajid, he was a great Alim. But what happened? Because of pride and arrogance of one moment, all that worship was destroyed. On earth, it is mentioned, the scholars mention, that Shaitan hidden sajda on earth, that if you put your hand on the earth and put your hand next to it, he did sajda on both places. That's how many sajda he done in this earth. That's why it's called Sajid. Because he does a lot of ibadat, he was called Abid. And he was raised in status, he went to first sky, second sky, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh sky. Then he was teaching a group of angels. He was teaching a group of angels from the Lawh Mahfuz. And on there is mentioned Shaitan cursed and all these. So he read this and he was teaching the angels and he asked, oh Allah, is this individual alive? Is he around? Allah said, yes, he is around. But he's not known by this name at the time. So Shaitan said to all the angels present, do dua, you are not that individual. He didn't do dua himself. The scholars say this is the power of dua. So you should do dua, will protect you as well. But anyhow, after Allah created Adam alayhi salam and ordered all the angels and jinnat to do sajda towards Adam alayhi salam, he refused. He said, I'm not going to do sajda. Why? Because you are creating me from fire and him from clay, and I am better than him. So he said this, and obviously he rejected the command of Allah. He became cursed, he was sent away. All that worship he done, all those sajda he done, namazah, whatever he done into worship Allah, is all gone to waste. He became cursed. And he took oath at that time, he took permission of Allah. He was, oh Allah, give me permission that all those people from the children of Adam alayhi salam, meaning Awlad Adam, he will misguide them. He will destroy the Iman. Allah gave permission. But said, those who are true to me, they will never be deviated by you. They will never be deceived by you. Then he said, but I want to misguide them even that point when they are in their graves. Then Allah rejected and said, no, only till they die. Even on the deathbed, you can misguide them, but once the soul leaves the body, you have nothing to do with them. So my dear son and brothers, we need to wake up and realize that Allah's sacred plan, Allah's khufiyat tadbir, nobody knows. Today I'm standing here, maybe tomorrow I won't be. There can be many reasons. We are here today, tomorrow we won't be here. The sacred plan of Allah nobody knows, but we must always fear it. We must always have the fear of Allah within ourselves. Then, only then we will be successful this world and the hereafter. Our pious predecessors, take for instance the Sahaba Ikram, they were promised paradise. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam promised them paradise, the Ashra Mubashara. But still the amount of fear they had, that they would take self-accountability, they would whip themselves on the feet at night time and say, today people call you Amir al-Mu'mineen, and they would scold themselves. That was their fear of Allah. Today we hear the stories, we become a little motivated, but when will we change ourselves? When will we bring that fear of Allah within ourselves? We give Tawizat Tariya. A lot of people come here, this problem, financial problem, no children, this. Nobody comes for this problem, I have sins, I want to get rid of it.
Allah. Allah.
Although when we are doing our course, and when the Majlis teaches us Tawizat Tariya, they tell us those Tawizat as well for these reasons. To help you be protected from sins. To take away your bad habits. We are given those Tawizat first, then we are given the rest of them. But when people come to us, they take all the Tawizat, they don't take these ones. My dear Islamic brothers, standing here mentioning these things, you all aware of all this. We coming here every week, you come here regularly, same few faces, maybe more few new ones. But when we will change ourselves, we say we are lovers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The most important thing is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you don't have love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have no iman. We say all these things, but how are we expressing our love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Yes, we come once ijtama, we learn something, we go, we forget it. We don't even pass it on to others. Look how unfortunate we are. Come ijtama, bring other people with you to ijtama. If one person you bring with you to ijtama, he listens to any bayan, he changes. From that day on, whatever good deed he does, you get same reward.
Allah.
Free, your meter started.
Allah.
These brothers here, wearing Imama Sharif, Chadrin, there's a reason behind it. It's not because we are big responsible or anything like this, no. It's because the reward behind it is very big. It is Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the Sahaba Ikram that there will be a nation who comes within my nation, within my ummah, after your time, when they will act upon one sunnah of mine and they get reward of 100 martyrs. The Sahaba Ikram astonished, they asked, Ya Rasulullah, who are these fortunate people? We have to go to the battlefield, we have to sacrifice our life, then we get reward of 1 martyr. But they will get reward of 100 martyrs just by acting upon your sunnah.
Allah.
Then they mentioned that will be that time in which acting upon sunnah will be difficult. This is that time, my dear brothers. We are in front of you, we are born bred in this country as well, wearing Imama Sharif, beard, Madani Libas, Chadre, everything. Nobody says anything to us. Nobody will stone you like they stoned Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nobody will throw intestines on you like they threw on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In reality, my dear Islamic brothers, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sacrificed everything for us. He sacrificed everything for us. He left his family for us. He sacrificed his family for us. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam was stoned, was abused, was sworn, and he's the best of all creation. If he wanted, he could have had mountains of gold following him everywhere. But he chose a life of poverty. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he went to Taif, we all know this, what happened. Just to remind ourselves, when he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was cast out of Makkah and he went to Taif, every single child of that nation in Taif, they stoned Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The adults, the slaves, the children, they all stoned Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To such an extent that in the books of Sirah, you can open Sirah-e-Halabiyah and read, it's mentioned from head to toe, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was bleeding. His blood was so much in his nalain that his blessed sandals were clinging to his feet. That sacrifice Rasulullah made for us. That was the difficulty he faced when he was preaching Islam. Today when we go out and preach, people respect us. We are doing that which no one else does. We met a few brothers, 2 brothers just 2 days ago, myself and Ghulam Friedman, and they were mentioning that you are doing that work which no one else is doing that work. Your organization is a very good organization, and they are praising, people praise us for the work which we are doing. And what are we doing? We are doing the work of the prophets, which is inviting. And my dear son brothers, we shouldn't be holding back when it comes to attaining reward. It's mentioned, don't leave any action, small action, because you think this reward is small. So my dear son brothers, whenever we get chance, try partake in activities of Dawat Islami. Come Ijtima Dawat Islami, Fili Madini Namaz Kar, Thala Madini Khafila. Inshallah, you see blessing of this, inshallah, as well. We can go on and on, but we have to get to another Ijtima as well. So we wind up, inshallah, just that the fear of Allah Azza wa Jal is not given to any person. Just like this, you have to earn that fear. This is what some scholars say, you have to show that you are deserving of this fear. Not many people attain this fear. Because when you attain the fear of Allah Azza wa Jal, you are given one special rank from Allah Azza wa Jal, and that's where the ranks of Walayat start from. All those pious predecessors who had the fear of Allah, we do the, we mention the stories, we do bayans about them. One thing they have all in common, they all awliya. And another thing they have in common, they all possess a lot of fear of Allah. So the person who has fear of Allah, the doors of Walayat are open for him. They'll be easy for him. So come in this way, you have to show yourself you are worthy, you have to work extra hard. Nafili ibadat, read your namaz on time, fast, extra worship. Because when somebody does extra worship, then Allah says he's become beloved to me, he's become my friend. Or become the eyes through which he sees, the hands through which he does his work, the tongue through which he talks, the feet through which he walks. These are all mentioned in Hadith Sharif. So my dear son, there's a lot of benefit, a lot of blessings there, but we have to come forward and take them.
Inshallah.
And alhamdulillah, in Dawat Islami, these opportunities are given again and again. This Ijtima, don't leave this Ijtima, you attend yourself, bring other people with you. Invite others, inshallah. Next time the Ijtima should be full packed.
Inshallah.
Allah give us ability to act upon what has been said. Ameen. Ameen. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.